Originally, we were told that it was two individuals from town who wanted to do this project, but it appears now as though it's a completely different group of individuals. I think that Attorney Gallo may have been representing a corporation, or may now be representing a corporation, and I think that we should be very concerned about who the members of that corporation are. I see that the grant that was, I don't know who applied for the grant. I'd like to know that. But then I see that one of the qualifications for the grant is that the applicant does not have the financial means to be able to conduct the testing and the evaluation on their own. And so, by definition, then, this group doesn't have the resources to conduct the testing and the evaluation on their own. How do they have the resources to build 2 hockey rinks? Has anyone seen any type of evidence that they do have that kind of financial wherewithal? And as I said, who are the members? I think we have a right to know if we're going to invest $200,000 into this project. I think we have a right to know who the members are that we're investing this money into, what their backgrounds are, what their history is. I also think that before that lease can be extended, that this needs to go to a public hearing.
No, it doesn't.
And I'm saying because it would essentially constitute a releasing of the land.
Town charter says we don't have to go to town meeting only over 3 years.
Only over 3 years.
This is not a 3-year lease, it's an extension of a year. It was a 1-year lease, it's another year extension proposed.
Well, it seemed to me as though this is a 1-year lease that was approved. Okay, it wasn't a 3-year lease that was approved.
It was a 1-year lease that was approved, and now extended. You don't have to go to a town meeting.
I think with all of the changes that are.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. I'm not sure what changes you're speaking of. That gentleman over there is the same gentleman that proposed this to us almost 2 years ago. His corporation is the same. He applied to the state for the grant through his corporation. He had to show them his qualifications. They vetted him. They've called me. They won't give him a grant unless he's been vetted through the state, not by the town, through the state. Now they're committed to him because they think it's a good project. They want to give it a kickstart, and they're willing to do that. And if that through that kickstart it's proved that he can continue forward, they're willing to give him more money.
Willie, his corporation wasn't even established at the time.
Shoreline LLC is what we approved leasing the property to.
They weren't even established at the time that they.
Yes, they were.
For the town.
Yes, they were.
Well, then who are the members of Shoreline LLC?
Myself and my partner, Ben Peretta.
Now, at any point along the line.
No, you said Attorney Gallo. Attorney Gallo's our attorney. He's not. He just represents us. And we never changed nothing. I always said it was me. Had nothing. There was never any changes in that.
So when the articles appeared, it said that 2 guys from Clinton had this idea.
That was
to build a hockey rink. That was what?
That was misinformed.
That was misinformed. Okay.
Attorney Gallo's our attorney from Clinton. He lives in town.
So the article was misinformed. Who are the partners besides yourself in Shoreline Heights?
It's Vin Peretta, my partner.
Okay, and Vin Peretta and yourself own Maplewood Construction?
Yes.
There's a federal lawsuit pending regarding labor practices?
No, it's all set.
So it wasn't filed last December?
There was a file, but that's all clear now. First of all, that has nothing to do with this.
Okay, do you have
as Mr. First Selectman said, I went to the state and applied for a grant, and they went through my whole records. They wouldn't give me money if there was a problem.
Do you have the financial wherewithal to conduct the testing and the evaluation yourself?
Yes, I do.
Do you realize that as a condition of the grant program that you applied for, that it requires that you not have the personal ability to conduct the testing and the evaluation yourself?
My attorney's saying all that. I don't know what you're getting at.
Vinny, I'm trying to get where you're going.
I'm saying that the applicant isn't qualified for it.
We're cutting it off
I
right
didn't
now.
qualify. What makes you qualified that I'm not qualified?
How I'm
The
saying,
developer
you just,
didn't
no,
build it for 40 years.
by your own admission, you have the financial wherewithal to
Then-
conduct the testing.
All right, we're
and
stopping it right
evaluation.
now. Thank you. Enough. That's it. You know, unfortunately, somebody that has never done anything good for the town has to pick on somebody
Well,
who wants to do
you've
it.
never done anything for the state. You lost $100 million on I-84 itself.
And how many businesses did you put out? How many guys did you put in bankruptcy with your little subdivision? down there?
Excuse me, I did it, the town did, by starting, by holding CEOs. Thank you. I'm not misinformed
I
about
don't even know where you live, man.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure
I
out
know where I
where you live.
live. Where do you live? In a $150,000 house.
Where's your New York place come from?
Let's just,
Yeah, you're a big shot there.
All right, moving on.
You're a big fat shot.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. This is great. I love morning meetings. All right.
Could I, do you mind, for visitors, would you do the honors? Sorry to be a little late. The traffic out there is probably experienced pretty extraordinary. I'd like to, I ran out of time on my printer, but just to, do have some copies of the minutes in which the ice rink was approved. And I don't know whether the minutes are incorrect or not, but they indicate that shoreline ice, I'm sorry, I ran out of time printing, so I've got some other things, but my printer, and then I got this traffic, it was incredible getting this one. But it indicates that shoreline ice has a facility in Norfolk that...
No, that was never said.
We
We refer to the Norfolk Rink.
Please read the minutes, Mr.
I'm saying, well, if the minutes say that, they're wrong. No. They didn't.
What do the
Who
minutes
said
say?
Shoreline Ice had a rink in North River?
It does say that.
I know it says it there, but that's
North Lake
incorrect.
has a facility.
Did anybody correct the minutes?
Apparently not.
So, does anybody here, other than Mr. Fritz, think that is incorrect?
It's incorrect. They don't have a rink in Norfolk. I use the comparison of the Norfolk rink as for the tax revenue could be generated from this project potentially.
Well, in fact, here I have for you, and Mr. Casino, Semino, not Casino, is correct that shoreline ice didn't exist at the time. But what's the point? The point is that the people that you're dealing with here are questionable. That's the point. The other point is this. Have you guys even seen this lease? Has anybody here on this board seen the lease?
They got it right in front of them.
Okay.
No,
Did you
this
see?
is the extension.
Did you see the lease before it was approved, the last lease? Did you see the lease before it was approved? Well, the fact of the matter is that before any lease is signed by the first selectman, any contract is signed by the first selectman, under the charter, you are supposed to approve it. This is 5-7D of the charter. And I have a whole list, I didn't bring it with me, but I have a whole list because Mary was kind enough to give us a lot of contracts. And my guess is that Mr. Fritz has signed a lot of contracts that you've never approved. And under 5-7D of the charter, and for transparency purposes, he should be bringing every lease, every contract, every legal document to you, just for you to be aware of it, but also for you to approve it. He doesn't have the authority to sign these things without your approval.
The details of the lease were laid out as part of the process. We went to the selectmen, town meeting board, the zoning board, town meeting. It was all laid
But
out.
the thing is that every lease, every contract should be shared with the
Once the board approves to go forward with something, that gives me the authority to sign it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Sure does.
Okay, look at, okay, I'll give you this is the charter.
I'm still trying to tell you, town meeting approved it, so it's a new point at this time, Mr. Carr.
The leases, they approved the project, but under the 5-7D of the charter, right here, this is the charter, 5-7D of the charter, says that the Board of Selectmen shall have the following powers and duties, and shall authorize the execution of contracts, leases, deeds, and other legal instruments by the first selectman. I don't know how they can authorize it if they haven't seen it.
Once they approve going forward, they basically authorized me to go forward.
I think that they're supposed to authorize.
And the lease was drawn up by the town attorney.
Yeah, but they're supposed to approve it.
It was approved at a town meeting.
They are supposed to see the lease, they're supposed to see everything in the lease.
We're really getting down to semantics now, okay?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are, Kirk.
No, we're not. Anyway,
I mean, again, I go back to, here we have something that's potentially a good thing for the town, and there's always gonna be something wrong with it because it was my idea, right? I'm the one that brought it forward. That's what it comes down to.
No, that's
because
not-
you guys didn't think of it.
It's
I think
illegal.
Ice Rink's a great idea.
It's illegal. You can't change the
I
entity.
agree with you 100%. And Ice Rink is a great idea. The place that it's in and the people that you're dealing with, I think, are questionable.
Okay.
And I think the people on the Board of Selectmen should have a chance to look at every lease, at every contract, and I think on a table this, while you look a little bit deeper into this, I think this was done somewhat hastily. And I don't think that these people had a chance to look at this. I see you've got this lease in front of you now, that's a good thing.
You guys,
But I
they
don't-
got it down yesterday.
So anyway, but this is what's in the charter that I think that you regularly do not adhere to. And here's a list, and then this is, I thought I hadn't brought it, but here's a list of, here's an inventory of contracts and leases. And my guess is that you haven't seen most of these contracts and leases. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've had a chance to review all these contracts and leases before they were put in place, and I'd be very surprised. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not always right, but I'm never in doubt.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
Moving on.
I said, I've seen most of these, wherever they're from.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
We-
you have, I haven't. I haven't seen any.
We've, all right, here we go. Hockey rink leasing.
Bless you.
I know the date, Bennett, on this is wrong. It should be not be 2009, it should be 2013. This would in effect extend the land lease with Shoreline Ice for another year so that they can continue to do their investigation. But basically, even though it's nice that they got a state grant, that's throwing us stick in the spokes because the state takes so long to get anything through. So we haven't even gotten any kind of paperwork from them other than the phone call that said you got the grant, right?
Right, yeah, that's it.
And
So we've been meeting with the state.
Yeah.
So,
This is a brownfield?
yeah,
Okay. And the lease is what, $1 a year?
yeah.
And the option to purchase is,
If they can prove that, find that they can build it and then get all their permits and this and that in place, and we sell it to them. Yeah.
okay. Is there a price for the sale?
It's in $1,000. We voted that at a town meeting,
Okay.
convey it to them for $1,000.
Okay, but then it would produce
Revenue.
property tax and revenue.
Right. Based on North Branford's rink, which is similar to what they're talking about. And North Branford's a similar sized town, one that oftentimes we're compared to.
Right.
They generate about $90,000 a year in tax revenue with that facility.
Okay. And this isn't going to impact negatively on Knott Road? There's a...
Well, that's going to be for them to approve when they go through the permitting process.
That's a broad statement, you can't say that.
You can't say, they have to do traffic studies, they have to do all of that as part of the approval process.
All right.
My biggest concern is that they're gonna get so far into this and then we're gonna find a problem. And I just don't want the town being held.
There's already a problem that we're liable for.
Right, which we have managed to avoid addressing for years and years and years, and it's like Pandora. I don't live by Pandora.
Just because you ignore the problem doesn't mean it goes away.
I just don't want to have to address a multi-million-dollar problem in the event this falls apart. And I know at this point, it's moot. There's, the cat's out of the bag.
But there's no other, is there any other interested party
No.
moving forward doing it with this? All right, so. All right.
A motion to approve the extension.
I'll move to approve the extension.
Second. All right, discussion
Next
further.
thing.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? None, abstention, Carol. All right, good.
thank you.
Thank you, Craig. All right.
But just back to the ice rink, and I understand your concerns and stuff. Now, I know Joe, and I don't know where they're,
I
I'm just
know
saying, I
Joe,
just don't
and I-
understand where, I know him through business and stuff, I mean, we do similar things. I never have, I mean, he's a stand-up guy from what I've known him, and I've known his company. I don't think he's trying to do anything, I just think he's trying to do a better thing. He's from Northford originally, so I think he grew up with the hockey mentality and the rink and stuff, but I don't think he's trying to, I could be wrong, but I don't think they're trying to pull anything. I think they're just trying to do a good thing for the town.
I don't think anybody thinks they're trying to pull anything.
Well,
That-
I would
do not
beg to
take that-
differ.
Do not
That's
take
not what I was
that.
hearing a while ago.
Out of
I just don't understand And then it turns into, it's like a personal attack on him.
Oh, yeah, well, yes,
And
everybody
I
went too
don't-
far.
I
No,
don't-
my concerns are strictly with.
I agree with you,
the
but I
property,
think it is
and
our
that's all
problem,
I'm gonna
Carol.
say.
We could push it
I
under
know,
the
Jim,
carpet
but we
forever and
have a
ever.
lot
I
on
would
the
rather see
project
someone
right
else that
now.
might take care of that or get funding to take care of it instead of us being responsible for it. I understand where you're coming from. And it is a concern, sure. You can't.
My opinion
But
on that is.
No, there's
the
absolutely
problems
nothing
are
personal
then
involved.
identified.
I highly respect all the work he does for municipal building, and I've seen him at work there, and I know he's a well-informed, intelligent individual.
He's a
and,
standard guy.
Yeah,
I
I know
know.
he is, I know he is.
I don't know what,
That's
his
not my
past or whatever, but that
concern.
doesn't have anything to do with the hockey rink itself, and I think it would be a benefit to the town. You know, obviously, we gotta watch out what we're doing and just make sure everything's done correctly.
That's, yes.
But, you know, I think we should back them, and I think the people should. I just think it's a good thing for the town. Everybody wants this economic development, but then what's not exactly what they want, they come down hard and look for anything to stop it, and it drives me crazy.